Hi everyone. I'm trying something a little bit new today to see if I can get some better light for you all. So I'm actually, oops, we might get a little jiggly. I'm gonna have to figure this out a little bit better. But we're at a TV tray in my living room where there are windows instead of in like the dungeon basement where there's no light at all. So hopefully this will work better. But welcome to Cards and Coffee. You found Sarah Lynn Duque here with Sarah Lynn Stamps. And if this is the first time that you're joining us, on Wednesdays at noon, we have Cards and Coffee, which is a quick card making session where we make a card in 15 minutes or less together on our lunch break. And today we're going to visit kind of an oldie but goodie, Tasteful Touches. I haven't pulled this out for quite some time, although I don't know why. This one comes with some beautiful coordinating dies, which I didn't think to bring with me today. But they are all the dies are various labels. So like label shapes, the stamp sentiments and stuff on, and some of the most beautiful ones that you've seen. And I love this stamp set, but today we're going to use it to make a gorgeous spring card using the whitewash technique. So if you join me for, when did I do that technique? It was for In the Moment. I think I had an In the Moment kind of premiere event or something. And we learned the whitewash technique at that class, online class. But if you didn't join us then, don't worry, you're in for a treat today. This is like a very easy technique that really needs very few supplies. So you're going to love it. Anyways, today I have got Flirty Flamingo cardstock. And this is just half a sheet of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5. And I've just folded it in half here to make our card. And I am just going to get a scrap of paper here to do our stamping today. So the stamp that I've got first of all is just the flower. And we're going to just stamp that in the same color, which is Flirty Flamingo. So this is a really nice way to give sort of a subtle look to your card without it being too bold. And you'll see this is going to give us a really nice soft look. And you could do this, I think, with like Blushing Bride or even, what is that called? Not pale pink. You know, the soft one that if you wanted to really make this sort of a soft colored card. So anyways, we're just going to tap, tap, tap this. And I'm going to just randomly stamp this on the back of my card. And you can see how it just kind of leaves a very soft pattern. Now you want to make sure that you're kind of rotating your stamp as you go so that you don't end up with all your stamps going in the same direction on your card. And you want some of them to go off the edge of your card, some of them to be in the middle of your card. I think we will do this here. And then you just kind of fill in the edges. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. You just want to kind of make sure that you're filling in all the spaces. There we go. That's what we got. Isn't that pretty? Even all by itself, you could just leave it just like that and it would be perfect. Now the whitewash technique only needs, well, I mean, other than the stamping part of it, one specific supply. And this is from our Watercolor Pencil Set. And this is the set number 1, which has really some basic colors in it, including Whisper White. So Whisper White is the color we want to pull out of here today. And you can just sharpen these like regular pencil crayons. I see mine's getting a little bit dull. But watercolor pencils actually will color and sit on top of your cardstock so that you can kind of get bright colors even on top of dark colored cardstock. So here today we're just going to use white, hence the name whitewash. And we're going to literally just very quickly color over here. Now you could color this as much as you want, and I'll just kind of demonstrate here a little bit. Well, let me do it over here because I think this part will be hidden. You could do it really soft, or you could color, and hopefully I'm not like over it a lot and get it really bright, or you can do it really soft. So it depends on how much, well, effort you want to make, but also how subtle you want this to be or how much you want the white to show up. I'm going to just go a little bit quickly. And you can see that you can see the white, but it is going to be sort of a subtle effect on the back. So we're going to just quickly color the flowers here. And this doesn't take very long at all. I try to do the leaves sort of separately so that I'm not coloring over all of the lines because I want, obviously, the shape of my image to stand out. So we're just going to go like this. But again, you could use any of the colors in the watercolored pencils if you wanted to add some color to a card, a dark card, and it'll kind of sit on the top. Now, of course, if you've got like a dark color and you're trying to add like, say, a dark blue, it's not going to show up as much as, say, a yellow or a white, etc. But just play with it and try. You don't need to add any water to this to do this technique. You're just going to color straight with your pencil crayon, your watercolor pencil crayon. All right, so let's just keep going. And this takes just a minute, but it's really not a hard job. And as you can see, I'm not paying too much attention to making sure that I've got it all colored in, just that I'm adding some white here, which is making sort of a nice subtle pattern on the background. Now, what do you think about the light up here? Is it a little bit better? I think that it's better than definitely last week. I know my mom, and I appreciate your guys' feedback as I try to figure out the best place to do this, said that I had turned on a light to try and add some light downstairs. However, she said it just created a big white light in the middle of the filming, which is not what I'm going for. So we're going to backtrack and try to find a place where I can get some natural light, because that is the best way to light these events, is just by letting the sun do its job. Okay, then we don't end up with all those weird shadows everywhere. Anyways, the joys of moving, trying to figure out where everything goes. I think I've kind of got my living room back together a little bit, but there's still quite a bit of work to do. All right, so we're getting there. Let's say about half done. It does take a few minutes here to get this done. But you know what? This is still going to be a 15-minute or less card. You'll see. There's not a lot to do because this background is so pretty that we don't want to cover it all up. So this really is the heart of our card and sort of where we're going to put our efforts today. So I do have a few events coming up in May. I posted that on my Facebook page yesterday. Some online events. I also have a team event planning for later in May, an in-person event. So if you're part of my team, I would have sent you an email about that. So if you haven't seen it, please go ahead and check your email. Other than that, we have, I want to say it's May the 4th. It's a Wednesday, is the the in-color reveal. So I'm going to be doing an in-color event showing you the new in-colors, how they compare to some of the other Stampin' Up! Colors, where they fit sort of into our crafting, how to make room for them in your craft space, and of course some lovely projects. So make sure you tune into that. I will post times for those events, but if they're during the week, they're probably most likely at 7. On the weekend, I have a new catalog launch on the 14th, and that one will be at, you know what, I haven't quite decided whether we're going to, it'll probably be at 10:30. I like to do them in the morning so you have the rest of your day free, but, and then mystery stamping, of course, is always the last Thursday of the month. So we actually have mystery stamping this week on Thursday. I will be posting today the dimensions for your cards, so watch for that to come out. Anyways, this is the whitewash technique. All we're doing is adding white to the back or on top of a darker color of cardstock to kind of give it a little bit of lift. And now actually what would be really nice here if you wanted to make these stand out a little bit more is to take, again, a darker color of pencil crayon and go around the outside, and it's going to give it a little bit of a shadow and make the flowers sort of stand out. But during Cards and Coffee, we are all about the speed, so we're not going to do that today. Now, the other piece of paper I needed, where did I put my cardstock? Here we go. I have a couple pieces of white. So I have a piece of white here that measures, let me pull out, this is what I love about this paper, I've got sticky stuff everywhere, is that it works as a ruler too. So we've got 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then this other white one is just a piece of scrap. So we are going to go ahead on this one. I want to create a flagged end on this. So the way that we do that is we literally just go into the middle and cut it as deep as we wanted. I want this to be a little bit deeper than maybe I normally would make a flag. And we cut from the one corner up to that point, and then we do the same from the other end. Ow, I just cut my finger. Don't cut your finger. These little paper snips are sharp. There we go. Okay, so we've got now a flagged end here to make sort of a banner, and we're going to stamp on this. I do need my scrap again. I don't know why I keep putting this away, but we're going to stamp on here first the sentiment in basic gray. And the reason I'm choosing basic gray is because it's a little bit softer against the pink than a full-on black would be. I'm going to use the sentiment just saying hello because I love the script in here. And because it's kind of a handwritten script and sort of at an angle, it doesn't really matter if it's straight or crooked, or it just is an all-forgiving sentiment. And this came straight out of that Tasteful Touches stamp set as well. All right, we're done with the basic gray. The last stamping we're going to do is with Granny Apple Green. And you could choose a softer green like Soft Succulent if you wanted to make this a little bit softer. But I love the Flirty Flamingo and the Granny Apple Green are both part of the Brights collection, so we know they're going to work well together. So I'm going to just put here a green leaf like that. And then I might just stamp another leaf just kind of like that. Okay, we're going to start with that, and you'll see why we're doing that in a minute. Now you're going to be like, that looks really weird because we can just see the stems, but wait for it, people, wait for it. Now let's set this aside for a second, and we're going to pull out our scrap, and I know, did I say we're going to do our last stamping? Yeah, I did, but I lied. Flirty Flamingo is back out, people. We are going to stamp a flower, shoot, put my finger on that, onto our scrap piece of paper. And we are going to cut it out. So this is just going to take a second here. I'm just going to do kind of a rough cut. So when you're cutting out, you want to use kind of the inner part of your scissors. I like to leave a little bit of a border, but it's really up to you and also up to the design that you're creating. And you move the paper rather than the scissors. You're going to just find that you have a little bit more control over what you're doing. And it goes a lot faster than, I find when you move your scissors, you end up with a lot of those choppy marks, if that makes sense. And as you can see, you know, it's not perfect. We're just going to kind of rough it out today. You could take more time to do this if you wanted to. But, you know, we're all about effortless stamping here at Cards and Coffee. Well, actually, it's Sarah Lynn Stamps altogether. Let's just be honest now. Let's just try to keep things as simple as they can be. Okay, see, that didn't take too long to cut out at all. You could totally do that. All right, we are going to now take our Wink of Stella. And I was just thinking today, I have not pulled this out for months. And this used to be like on every card that I created. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to me in Wink of Stella. Somehow I got that twisted a little bit. But this is a glitter brush. So it's a paintbrush that's full of glitter. So if you like a little bit of bling, as you all know I do, this is something you need in your life. So it will actually paint our classic inks that are water-based. So if you want to use it as a paintbrush, you're going to end up with a glitter painting. If you don't want it to kind of paint, you can see here it's kind of blended the colors a little bit, which is really nice. But if you don't want that to happen, you're going to dab like this. So you're just going to get spots of it rather than the painting. And so I'm just going to put that into the center of my flower, and it doesn't look like I got enough. You know, we need like lots of glitter, people. We need to like bling this up. Okay, so I'm going to just see how we're making out here with the, well, we've got glitter. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the glitter? Anyways, it's something just soft and subtle that's going to add a little bit extra to our card. Now, one last thing that we want to do here before we start putting our card together, I'm going to set this aside to dry for a minute, is I'm going to just add a little bit of ribbon. And again, we're going to do this as easy as we possibly can by putting a little adhesive onto the back of our card, or not our card, sorry, of our tagged piece here. I'm going to put the end of the ribbon in there, and then I'm just going to wrap it around as many times as I want it to be wrapped. And I'm going to probably just do this like 3 times. And then I'm going to tuck it back into the back onto the adhesive and cut it off. So we don't have any bows going on here. We've just got a nice kind of layer of ribbon here. Okay. All right, that's all we're gonna do with that. See, I love that when it's just so easy. Okay, so lastly, we are gonna start putting our card together. So now we can get rid of this scrap piece of paper, and we're gonna start putting some dimensionals onto our different pieces here. So starting with our banner piece here, our sentiment, and then also our flower. And you could choose to do your flower in another color if you wanted to, but I kind of like the monochromatic look here with our card and our images all being the same, because it kind of highlights our technique that we did today, our whitewash technique, which I think is really stunning. Soft and stunning on this card. Okay, so we're going to put this over here a little bit to the left, because we want to be able to see our beautiful flowers. And then this flower is going to actually just go right here. Now you can see why I didn't worry about the stem, because I really just wanted to see the green leaf sticking out. So we're going to stick that on just like that over top. If you wanted to, you could like definitely add a bow over here. But what I'm going to add to this is one of these brushed brass butterflies, which are stunning. And I think go really nicely with flowers. So I'm going to actually just take one of these with my Take a Pic tool and place it right up here. Just like that. And there we go, folks. Like, I mean, we did quite a bit today, but we still stuck within the 15-minute mark. So we're doing really good. So give this a go. And like I said, you can add as much white as you like on the background to make those flowers on the back as bright as you want them to be. And don't forget about your Wink of Stella. That is prime importance. Importante. So happy stamping. If you have any questions about this card, if you want to know how, if you're having trouble putting any of the pieces together, give me a message, send me a message, give me a call. If you'd like more information about the upcoming events, you can drop me a message as well. Also, for the new catalog launch on the 14th, I am going to be stamping a project together that I would love to stamp with you. And if you would like a free kit to stamp along with me, if you live in Canada, I will mail you a free stamping or card kit to stamp with me at my event on the 14th online. So just put in the comments kit and I will make sure to connect with you and get that card kit out to you right away. So happy stamping. Let me know how you love this one. Talk to you soon. Bye.